Did you know that coughing can damage your vocal cords? I believe that this is true, that we're irritating our vocal cords and our throat area when we cough. And I have realized that if you take a sip of water or a drink of water or a glass of water, every time you feel the urge to cough, it kind of gets rid of that urge. So that's something I've been practicing. It's pretty hard, and nobody's perfect. So sometimes we try things and we're not the best at it the first time we do it, and it takes a lot of practice until we develop better habits. So that's just one of the better habits that I'm working on. We're going to go over some other habits that we can instill into us to be our best selves. So, my first point that I want to go over with us tonight is the concept of taking a full breath. This is something that has gotten away from me, and for one reason or another, sometimes we know why, sometimes we don't know why, but we just take long periods of time where maybe we don't take a conscious full breath, and that's okay. Sometimes people haven't taken a full breath ever. So I'm going to teach you how to take a full breath. So we can start by knowing that the belly expands first, then the ribs, then the chest. So your whole body, upper body, torso area should be expanding and contracting with your breath. This way we can become more aware of our diaphragm. So we'll start by taking a breath in, letting the belly expand, the ribs, and the chest, and then releasing the chest, the ribs, and then the belly. There's an order to things too. So try and keep your shoulders relaxed here. So relax your shoulders, maybe wiggle it out, but relax completely. We'll take this deep breath and see how long your breath is. Don't force it, don't force the length, just notice it. And we'll take a few breaths like this. You might find that you feel your jaw release and more air going up into your brain, feeling a little bit of clarity. So feel free to practice that breath on your own. I'm gonna move into talking about a few more points. My next point is about yoga and stretching and putting your body into alignment and doing things in alignment, movements in alignment, and how important this is. It's not important to just do the motion. This is so common, we just do it mindlessly. But learning how to stack your spine or engage certain muscles or yoga is all about alignment. It's alignment within the posture. You can be just sitting here with no awareness, or you can engage and feel your muscles working. And this is a better position ultimately. You don't have to be completely turned on, but your shoulders do have to be back, your spine stacked, your body creates right angles at your hips and at your knees. So, while we're talking about yoga and stretching, I'm going to talk about micro movements and how when we go from 0 to yoga, we need to have a little bit of growing room. So we can't just go 0 to 100. We have to go from 0 to 1 and then 1 to 2. So a lot of times we are tight, and even just little movements side to side, you might feel some stretch, you might feel some sting, you might feel some, I don't know, sensation going on. These are all points in your body that hold information. Information usually relating to an injury or something that was done to the body, a way of motion that instilled itself into the body. So don't be so hard on yourself. If you can't do a downward dog, then do a tabletop. It's fine to take your body, it's more than fine. It's preferred to take your body just one step at a time. To feel the sensation, to not have to really feel it or push your body to a point of feeling. We can just breathe where we are and take things one step at a time. Okay, my next point has to deal with the ups and downs of life, the flow, the yin and the yang. How there might be an equal balance depending on what you believe in, an equal balance of good and bad in the world. And when there's bad, maybe something good comes out of it. So this just has to do with riding the waves. Riding the waves. There's going to be waves. Mother Nature produces the waves. There's waves in our weather that truly do affect us, even though we have advanced to a point where we don't have to worry about the weather. We have cars to protect us. We have shelter. The weather still plays an important part in our lives. And one second it might be sunny, and the next it might be raining. These are waves that we just ride. We learn to ride. And that moment of change, something happens. Either we accept the change or we don't accept the change. And my advice is to accept the change as soon as it happens, or as soon as you want to accept it, which hopefully is sooner rather than later. And keep reminding yourself everything is going to be okay. You're riding a wave, you're in a phase, you're in a moment of time. Every moment of time is special and is important. And we are all connected to each other, whether we know it or not. So one person does something and that affects a lot of things down the line, whether you believe it or not. Our hearts and our minds can be receptive to things we don't believe in, receptive to things that we might not be comfortable in. Opening our minds and opening our hearts frees us. It doesn't keep us caged or locked in. Like, we're free to be humans. We're human. We have a heart. We have a mind. We're allowed to explore and touch and feel and be and do. Let's just be human. And bring focus onto ourselves. I think we've lost a touch with how to be human. So I think the best way to bring back how to be a human is to bring the focus onto ourselves. We're able to create who we want to be. We can surround ourselves with books, with art, with food, with things that create who we are and how we relate to people and what we choose to talk about or show an interest in. These are all things that make us who we are. So if you want to be the creator of who you are, I suggest journaling and writing down what you want to manifest, what your goals are, what you want to do better at, what you want to pay more attention to. Just write it down and focus on it. Focus on you. Focus on creating the best you. You don't have to do it for anybody else. Do it for you. Things you can do is ask yourself if what you're doing right now is connected to your goals and manifestations. Presence is so important to understanding what we are manifesting and what we are trying to manifest. Being present. What does presence have to do with manifesting? Well, when we're present, we can identify what is going on within us. Are you present with where your feet are connected to the ground? Can you go outside for a walk and feel your feet in nature, or feel your feet on the surface beneath you? Do you know that you have feet? Do you know that your feet are working for you? Do you know that your feet have pressure points and are touching the ground and have sensors and are receiving information from the ground it steps on, and it's relaying that information all the way up your leg and all the way up your body? It's deep. This stuff goes deep. Can you feel the air in your lungs? This is another amazing sensation, especially when you learn how to take that deep breath, not only breathing into your belly, but also breathing into your ribs and your chest and feeling this good air. Every day, the air changes. Either a tree has been born and there's more oxygen in the air, or it rained and there's different elements in the air on certain days, and every day we get to breathe in fresh air, and that is such a gift. Can you feel the air in your nostrils? Can you feel it in your lungs? Do you feel alive when you take a breath? Can you listen? Can you be present to every noise that you hear? Can you maybe translate what the birds are saying? Can you think about what the birds might be doing or how they might be communicating with one another? Are you afraid of wildlife, or can you just relax and see wildlife for the beauty that it offers? Do everything you have the desire for. Do everything. You can do everything. You don't have to limit yourself. You limit yourself when you change direction or you figure things out and you make things work better for you. But you want to do everything you desire. Find a way, make it happen. There is a way. There's a way for everything. Drink water. When we become present and in tune with ourselves, sometimes we realize that the most important thing that we need is water. Water cleanses our body. It keeps us hydrated. It adds so much value to us, and sometimes the only way to know that you need water is by being present with yourself. People exercise and realize that they need water. People do yoga and realize that they need water. So just realize that you need water. Instead of going for a snack or going for a juice or something else, let's just drink some more water. It's so cleansing for us. Well, don't be drinking that tap water though. Most tap water, I don't know where you live, maybe you have a special filter or live up in the mountains and get some amazing glacial water, but most water that we have in the United States on the East Coast is complete crap and calcifies your pineal gland. So I highly recommend avoiding tap water. Just use clean spring water and decalcify your pineal gland. You'll be glad that you did. So, after drinking water, eating healthy. Nobody eats perfect. Nobody eats amazing. We're all still learning and students of this world. I try my best, and I'm still a student. I'm still learning. I have become vegan. I have eliminated animals. I eliminate cheese, dairy, eggs. I still have gluten. And in my experience, I still make exceptions, but it's a process and it's a journey. Your microbiome in your body is not going to be adjusted overnight. There are significant changes that can happen and that do happen, and certain shifts within you. It's within you. It's not something activated outside of you. It's something within you that's activated for you to make that change. And honestly, the best foods are fruits and vegetables, whole raw fruits and vegetables, eating green salads, just big bowls of lettuce and tomatoes and cucumbers and radishes and avocados and nuts and seeds. Those are the best foods. The most abundant foods. And things that we can ask ourselves to improve our quality of food and the ways that we feel from eating our foods. I have some questions written down. These are questions that I still need to ask myself. I am not a perfect vegan, but I try my best to eat foods that make me feel good. I know that the nutrient composition of mostly the foods that I eat, and I don't have to worry about reaching a certain level of this or a certain level of that. I know that I'm getting nutrients. Something I learned today is maybe I should be eating less bread, because in nature, in the wild, if I were to try and make a loaf of bread, I wouldn't even know where to begin. The only reason I know how to have and make bread is because I buy flour from the store, I buy yeast from the store, and I buy these raw ingredients from the store. So over my vegan journey, I've learned that it's better to make the food yourself. So I've eliminated going out to restaurants, and I've eliminated eating boxed cereals and chips and snacks and all this other stuff that I was eating that I felt like I didn't need in my diet. And I experienced the effects financially. I now really can afford my groceries. My groceries are affordable and they're colorful. My groceries are colorful. They taste amazing. They're so good and usually don't require that long to make. So I've been questioning how long it takes to make things and what the raw ingredients are that I'm buying. What is yeast? Where does yeast come from? So those are things that I'm trying to question. Where is my food coming from? What is my food made of? And what is nature? What is nature is a deep question. I think we should explore the question, what is nature? Are my foods coming from nature? I'd like my foods to come from nature. I feel better when I'm connected to nature. I truly feel air in my lungs, energy in my head, in my heart, in my body. I wouldn't want to do this any other way. I love learning about how each day I eat vegan foods, plant foods, fruits, vegetables, things that I like and eat, pastas, rice bowls, tacos, homemade tacos, avocados, guacamole, salads, roasted vegetables. And think about how close to nature am I getting? I truly feel way closer than when I was eating eggs, beef, chicken, fish, dairy, cheese. I would have a vegetable, a carb, and a protein. And I really wasn't good at my vegetable intake. Vegetables should be your main dish, not your side. Not your carb is not your main dish. Your vegetable should be your main dish. You get carbs in vegetables too. You might not even need your carb after trying to have some more vegetables. So I really do feel connected to nature. I feel the waves of nature. I feel myself more. I feel like clear clarity, just more connected to my purpose and what I see, my perspective on things, and how my perspective can be useful in one way or another. So that's the big question. What is nature? I think we went over some really good points here. I'm so glad that I had this opportunity to come on here and teach or explain some things. it's really good to feel like maybe I'm helping somebody. Maybe the things that I say can be applied to somebody else's life. So manifest, be present, feel the air in your lungs, ride the waves. Know that everybody is connected. Rely on each other, love each other. Pay attention to yourself. Put effort into you. Work on your posture, work on your alignment. And meet me back here for the next episode. I'll see you later.